Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be making some soup. I have acorn squash, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up. When you cut open the acorn squash, there's seeds. What you do is you just scoop those out. It makes me think of a pumpkin, but yeah, so it looks like that. You just cut it all scraped out. You're gonna cut it up into bite-sized pieces or just uniform pieces. Okay, so I've cut them all up. You're gonna fill it to just around the top of the squash with, you'll fill it with water. And then you go ahead and put it on your stove to about medium or whatever it takes to get it to boil. And then just go ahead and boil it until it's mostly like in between soft, and then go ahead and add the next vegetable. Okay, so the next vegetable we're going to cut up is some beets, and the whole thing is edible, so you can eat the leaves, they're okay. We're going to go ahead and rinse these in the sink, and then we'll kind of pat them dry and cut them up. We're going to put the harder part, the bottom, the beets, in with the squash, the acorn squash, to boil it. It's going to turn the water like a pinkish or reddish, but that's okay. They're very nutritious. The whole plant you can eat, so the stems and the leaves. We'll put those in too, but we'll just go ahead and cut up the bottom part first. So we're going to go ahead and cut off the top part, you know, and maybe this part. We'll leave some of the skin, maybe. But and then we're going to just go ahead and chop that up into bite-sized pieces. And then with the leaves and stems, we'll cut those after. Okay, so I've cleaned them both up. I'll go ahead and chop them up. Okay, so now that they're all cut up, just go ahead and put those in the pot with the acorn squash. Okay, now go ahead and take the stems and the leaves and cut them up. I'm cutting the stems to 1.5 inches, and the leaves I'm going to go ahead and cut to about 1 inch, and then I'll put them in the pot. Okay, so you're going to want to wait for those vegetables to cook till they're medium firm before you add the leaves of the beets. I was going to put cabbage, but I'm not going to put cabbage because there's not enough room in the pan anyways. And in another pan, I have some coconut oil, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on my stove. And then I'm going to be putting in this ground turkey. It's a 1/2 pound. And then I'm going to be, before I put in the meat, I'm going to be putting in some ground cumin and some garlic and some black pepper. Okay, so just turn on your heat. And I'm going to just go ahead and add my seasonings. So I'll just go ahead and put in the black pepper. And then I'm going to put in the garlic. So I'm going kind of heavier than I would normally. And then put the cumin. There's a lot of cumin. I'm going to put in some more garlic. Okay. All right. So I was coating the pan with it pretty much, so a lot was coming out. So I wasn't actually measuring it. Just put as much as you think you'll want on your meat. I definitely want my meat seasoned for this. I'd put salt, but I'm watching my salt intake. sort of, because it's healthier for the heart. So I'll just put the meat in the pan and try to cook it, mostly cook it in there before I transfer it into the other pan with the soup. Okay, so as you can see, I put the meat in the pan. I'm just gonna go ahead and cook it. Okay, so it's gotten more cooked with the squash, so I put in the leaves of the beet. And then over here I have the meat cooking. I would go ahead and turn it over and just keep cooking it. As you can see, okay, so with the beet leaves, just go ahead and add more water so it's up to the level of the leaves, and then break up the meat while you're cooking it so that you can have the heat disperse evenly. And then once it's cooked mostly with the meat, go ahead my daughter, go ahead and add that to the pot with the vegetables. And yeah, this is my assistant. She's helping me with cooking. Yeah, so then once you've done that, just go ahead and cook it a bit longer, like about I don't know, 15-20 minutes longer, so that the flavors can mesh together. And I'll just cook it for a while because I'm probably not going to eat it right away. But yeah, if you're going to eat it pretty soon, you'll want to just cook it just long enough so that the flavors mix. And you might want to add salt if you're not really watching how much salt you're having. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and if you did, go ahead and give this video a like or a thumbs up, and subscribe.